Hello and welcome to Heartrepreneur TV. This is live in Heartrepreneurs with Terry Levine Facebook group. I'm your co-host, Velma Gallant, and I'm excited to have you here today. I have a very special guest with us today. Her name is, there we go. Her name is Stella Ho. Stella is the founder of Real Wealth Creation. For more than 25 years, she has created wealth just by shifting mindsets and has helped thousands of clients become millionaires with their real estate investments and consulting businesses. She helps coaches and consultants shift their mindset, create and scale their income using her mindset to profits and fear to power proprietary methods. Guaranteed. Welcome to the show, Stella.
Thank you, Velma, for having me this afternoon.
I am excited to have you here. Actually, it's early morning here, and I know it's late night there. So,
Yeah.
and at the end of the day, we love having these shows here for everybody to watch at their convenience. Oh, we've already got somebody coming in and saying hello. This is
Hello.
awesome.
Hi, Dee.
Okay, so uh, you're just in your introduction. What I'm hearing is you're actually using our fear as a tool. Is that correct?
Yes, that's true. Yeah, because the fear is actually a symptom for most people, but they take it as the cause of what's stopping them from going forward. So for me, I actually go through a process to identify the real fear in people, the underlying cause of the fears, and then we do a imprint remover so that you can actually empower those fears into your real power. So that's why I call it fear to power. And it has helped many people. Once you see your blind spots and then and you discover, usually it's from childhood, and these are those imprint that don't serve you and you're not even aware, because your personal, your human has this ability to defend yourself, to block
Yes.
away all the unhappy things, the traumas in your life, the sadness, the grief. So those are hidden away in your system. And using the fear to power program, we actually discover what's that fear, the underlying fear, the cause of it, and then we actually uproot it from the system so that it gets out of the way and it get you unstuck for your business.
I love that. And I love that you have a program for that, mainly because I know so as a coach as well, I help people uncover those things, but I know for myself it's not as easy for me to do it for me, which is why I love that you're actually supporting the consultants and the coaches, because they're out there doing some amazing work. You're out there doing some amazing work. And we have our own blind spots. We don't know what we don't know. And we have those triggers come up. And I know for myself, it's not always easy to discover what that underlying truth is, or, and I use quotes, the underlying truth is, in order for me to get past my own fears. So I
Yeah,
love that. It makes a lot of sense to me.
exactly. Coaches and consultants, we really focus on impacting other people's life, helping them out, whether it's in their mindset, their business, or whichever focus you focus on. However, we can't see ourselves. We can't really, and it is a human thing. Your body system somehow will just protect you, so you will not be able to go forward without discovering all these underlying fears within yourself. Even for myself, I will need a third party to help me see my blind spot. So that's why I also have mentors myself in order to get me forward, move forward in my life, whether it's accountability or whether it's like seeing that side of things that your own world can't see. Because
Mhm.
like perspective has, people look at perspective as their own perspective. However, there are many layers of perspective. In my world, there are at least five perspective, five dimensions, I call them, that is in front of you, right there. However, you can't see unless someone lead you there, or they're ahead of you. So this is why I really enjoy doing this Fear to Power program. It has helped so many people. I have a lady who was depressed, and she was really stuck in her business. There was no client. Sometimes it's not that there are no clients out there. There's abundance. However, your mindset, your fear block you from the ability, the courage to look for the clients. So for her case, she was shut down. She knew something was not right. She don't know what was wrong. And she said that she just don't want to do anything. She literally like shut down in her life. And somehow coming into the Fear to Power preview, she decided to hop in. And halfway through, in fact, just in, I think after the first or second lesson, she wants to drop out. So I went forward because I could sense her. It is not about just knowing, seeing, it's also sensing. So I sensed her that she was going to give up on herself. I reached out to her and I told her, stay in it. And she came back for class the following week. And now she's really empowered. After that few classes, she's full of joy, positivity in her life. And in fact, she was one of those who dropped me a testimonial who says that within minutes of doing half an hour after she did my process, she got a client called her to ask for her service. And she was like, how can this happen? It's miraculous kind of thing that's happening to her. How can it just happen? Just having that, that switch on and then allowing the abundance to flow through. Somehow people raise their hands to ask for her service. So this is one of those things that subconscious fear is blocking your energy moving forward and blocking the people from feeling you.
That makes a lot of sense because, as above, so below, as inside, so outside. So if our inside is all mucky and blocked up, then that's what our outward experience is going to be. So what I'm hearing is that your process supports us to discover what the real block is, or the real fear, or the real belief, the belief that we have, discover what it is and transform it so that we actually shift out of it. That's kind of what I'm hearing. And then once we're out of it, then, if we're clean inside, then that gives us the clarity outside.
Yeah. So one of the example I cite exactly what you said was, if you have a dirty cup and the cup is not cleared with all the rubbish in the cup, whatever clean water you pour in it is not going to help you, because whatever nutrients that you're taking into your body, if your body doesn't do the detox, you're not going to receive the best of it. You may receive some of it, but not the full essence of it. So the reason why I came out with this Fear to Power was I saw so many people stuck in their own ways. Whether you're procrastinating from doing a business, thinking there's a money block in your life, thinking that this person doesn't love you, the relationship doesn't come easy for you, there must be something behind that. One of the other example that I have for one of my client was, she's in her 60s. And for the longest time, she was not able to receive love. And love was something she was looking for. Of course, money as well. And she was stuck during the pandemic with no business. And her business totally crashed, and there was nothing. She was like thinking of how to get governmental support and things like that. So she came in somehow through my program, and she realized that there is this fear of rejection. This strong of fear of rejection that she thought it was just fear of rejection. However, when we dive deep, it went back to her father during childhood. And when she saw that scene of her father creating the first layer of her system, her personality, or whatever you call it, or a kind of experience for her, that started her journey of this fear accumulating over the years. And she's in her 60s. Can you imagine? So many layers have a layer on after that. And with the process, she now empower herself. She's reaching her, I think, potentially 6 figures by, in a couple of months. She made 5 figures over a few weeks. The money, she can't relate it. In fact, she was telling me it's very strange because somehow I got out of this fear of rejection. Then the money keep flowing in. She has 3 businesses. One of her furniture business went to 6 figures. And then the thing that she loved to do and wanted to do for 18 years, which is to become a health consultant, finally came true. And it just made her like 10,000, 20,000 over weeks. And she just didn't understand, how does it happen? The fear of rejection was removed. So by having this fear of rejection removed, she's able to charge forward. She's fearless now. So being fearless get her forward to achieve her success, which is indirectly related to her childhood somehow.
Mm.
And she was looking for relationship breakthrough. She got a different breakthrough instead of relationship. Of course, the good news is she has someone in her life right now that she's looking forward to meeting. Hopefully that works out for her. Hi, Terry. Hi, Denise. Yeah. So I want to really share that it is not about just business. It is about sometimes the fear that you remove in yourself that is so deep inside you could shift everything else for you, whether it's your business, your life, your relationship. And you cannot imagine what are the indirect effects that come through from just removing a small fear in you. You become totally fearless and powerful in your own way.
You know, that makes a lot of sense, because even just as you're saying that, the fear of rejection, it's very obvious how that can impact your business, because, you know, we're going to get rejected by our potential clients in our head. Then there's the getting rejected by potential partners. There's getting rejected by your family. There's getting rejected by your friends. If you're working, there's getting rejected by your coworkers. Like, it can permeate every single area of our lives.
Yeah, exactly. And once we discover what is the true inner fears inside you, then
Mm-hmm.
we remove it out. And typically, it really goes all the way back to childhood. In fact, I have a lady who is 76. So there is really no age limit in this process. There's a lady who's in her 76. And when we dive into her fears, it went to 2 years old. Can you
Wow.
imagine you can remember something from 2 years old? So how deep that imprint is inside her that has affected her entire life. She was so glad that she found this 2-year-old fear that she didn't even know existed in her life.
Mm-hmm.
And now she's like picking up all her life, again, all starting all over again. In fact, I told her, potentially you have another 10, 20 years. You never know, because once you discover that you have a chance to relive your life, you're given a second chance in your life. So how many people have
Mm.
that a chance at 76? You have that chance. Not everyone is so courageous to take upon a young girl, me, much younger than her, another person's direction and say, okay, let me see what's blocking me in my life and in my business. Why am I not able to go forward in my business? What is it that's stopping me from going forward in my life?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not being able to embrace the love around me. Yeah, I'm living in misery. I somehow cannot receive people's love in my heart. Yeah, and I'm also beating myself up all the time. So this is the thing about human. We keep beating ourselves up, but we don't realize that it wasn't us. It was in and the story behind you in the past that stopped you from knowing the real you, feeling you. In fact, today I think on Entrepreneur, one of the guys asked, "What's my true value? Authenticity, heart connectedness, are really true values, unconditional love, and that means unconditional love for ourselves
Mm.
before you can even take care of someone else. If you want to impact other people in your life, impact yourself first. Shift something inside you that is going to empower you, and you become fearless, and you can look after the people, the tribe that you have for you in your own community.
I love that, because I mean it, and we hear it all the time, put the mask on yourself first before you go and help someone. And we know it intellectually, but we actually don't live it. I know that I do from time to time, and at the same time, there have been plenty of moments in my life where it's just like, I just don't have time to take care of me. I have to deal with this, right? And so it's that story that you're talking about. Like, that is clearly a story that I've had playing, is that I need to take care of this first. I don't have time for me.
Yeah. So my
And I
role,
know I'm not alone on that.
yeah, you're not alone on this. And my role is to find out, why are you saying there's no time? Why are you saying that you must take care of other things first before you? So we look back into your memory. your memory lane. What is that story in the past that didn't serve you now? Because of that story, you become an overworker, for example, always working so hard. Yeah, because there is this somehow the insecurity of not having enough money, the insecurity of not being able to provide to others. So you're always rushing in order to fill your calendar, knowing that you're doing a lot of things, however, becoming very unproductive and very unfulfilled. Perhaps you're someone who has made the money. There's still an empty hole inside you in the heart that somehow doesn't get filled up. There's this emptiness inside. Of course, we always talk about emptiness in a good way, but the emptiness inside your heart is not a good thing because it means that there's something missing in your heart. And then that is for us to dive in and see what is that missing piece that is stopping you from going forward. Yeah, there is always this thing that stops you from the courage to move forward in your business. Some people said, okay, I know all this mindset bit, I help people in the mindset. But when it gets down to doing the business, doing what needs to be done, you go and say, hey, perhaps I should do this, I should not do this. Then you plan out an entire list of things, but yet you do not know what to prioritize. Yeah, so this is that part that there is something, the subconscious stuckness inside you. Yeah, and we want to discover what's that. So once we have take control of our fear and convert that to power, then we can actually move it to profits, which is why I came out with these two programs called Fear to Power and Mindset to Profit. Once you discover the fear, turn it into power, and then use that power to turn it into profit. It is a direct and indirect way. It's independent, but yet they are similar in some ways. And once you have the power, you know what's the thing that's lacking in your life. Say, for example, some of the coaches and consultants feel that in their business process, they lack accountability. Then the mindset to profit is the accountability component that helps people get through for their business. It is the weekly accountability, the daily accountability, even the hourly accountability to move forward in their life.
I like that. And so what I'm hearing is the fear to power. That's kind of like digging up our garden. And then your mindset to profits is planting our garden, nurturing our garden, growing our garden.
Yes, I love how you put that across because this is really perfect. Yeah, in the nurturing garden, yes. The nurturing is the one that move forward for the profit. Once there's abundance, the fears is taken care of, you have abundance, then you turn them into profits for yourself. You literally turn on the tap for the money to flow.
I like that. You also mentioned earlier a little bit about how there are some people who don't have a problem making the money per se, but there's that hollowness in their heart. And what I'm hearing is that fear to power is it's valuable no matter where we're at in our life, because I mean, there's so many of us that will go, I'm not making the money that I need to make. And that's where I think my emptiness is. But that's not the way it is for everybody. And so what I'm hearing is this process is of value for anybody, because whether the emptiness is in your wallet or your heart,
Exactly.
what I'm hearing is the fear to power is going to support to fill the wallet, the heart, the spirit, and that's where we end up gaining our power is once we've filled ourselves up with, once we've removed the fear, then we've got the power. The power has a space to go into.
Yeah. I mean, some of you know of celebrities who kill themselves even though they have the fame and the money. So what is lacking in them is something that's this emptiness inside them. The reason why I came up with Fear to Power and the Mindset to Profit is to serve. Mindset to Profit is basically to serve coaches and consultants once they get into power. Under the Maslow hierarchy of needs, you need to fulfill your wallet before you go into the higher level. When I started this journey of mentoring, My intention was actually on spiritual ascension. It wasn't for the
Mm.
money. Yeah, it wasn't for the money. If it's for the money, I've been into real estate for 25 years. I continue on the path. I make my own money. I'm happy. That's sufficient, right? But there's also this emptiness inside me, isn't it? That I was looking for something that I want to pay it forward and help people get out of their way. I see people struggling, and I don't like the feeling of seeing people struggling. So I'm looking at, if I can get the soul itself
Mhm.
enlightened, the enlightening that path was what I was, my real intention, to get people enlightened, to know that it is not just about money, it's not just about that relationship, it is about you.
Mhm.
And once you have that self enlightenment, you can enlighten anyone in your life in your own way. So that was the intention of all, for me to do these mentoring programs for anyone out there. And when I discovered that I can make it simple and easy for people to actually go forward, then I break it down into smaller steps into 2 different programs to serve those who need each area. And like you mentioned earlier, it is not just serving for the wallet, it's serving for the heart. So uh, there are people who are really full, in a sense, lots of money, fame. What is missing? What
Mhm.
is really missing? Happiness. Happiness is missing in their life. Love is missing in their life. Everyone is searching for love all the time, searching for happiness, searching for acknowledgement of their power. How about looking it within you and fulfilling that within you, knowing that you don't need someone to fill you up. You're always there, you're complete. And once you're complete, you're able to pay forward and help others. So there was this
Mhm.
intention of these 2 programs to let people take charge of themselves.
I love that. I love that. We've got some really great people hanging out here. This is awesome. So, there's a lot that I heard in that too, because you're talking about um, that our happiness is inside us. That we don't need the external things in order for us to be happy. And what I really love about that is that I am happy, and if someone comes into my life, it just makes me happier.
Yeah,
It's an addition to. It's not the need.
yeah,
It's like the icing on the cake. I'm already the cake.
exactly. Yeah. And that is also why I mentioned the lady earlier. She was looking for her better half. In the end, the miracle was she has money flowing in. So when now she has a relationship that's blooming, she no longer is searching for that anymore because she's
Mhm.
complete now. She's complete because she realized her power is within her. She no longer has this fear of rejection in her life. So having this person you know, not doesn't really matter. It is like, oh, this is my time for my choice. I shall make my choice whether I want this person in my life or I don't want anyone in my life. Or we just be friends that we add value to each other. So it is now her power to make the decision of whether she wants this second half in their life. Yeah.
I love that. I really love that, because it's basically saying, I'm happy and I'd love more. I don't need more, but I'd love more.
Yeah.
Right? Like I really appreciate that. And I really love that. Um, I love that you emphasize that the fears can impact our lives in a variety of ways. And what I'm hearing is, and I know this is going to sound a little bit weird, but this is what I'm appreciating from what you're saying, as I love that how the fear is showing up in my life doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's my wallet. It doesn't matter if it's my heart. It doesn't matter if it's my relationships. It doesn't, like, none of that matters, because I get to take care of it. I get to have the support to have me see that I'm whole and complete. And I get to put down my story, whatever that story is.
Yeah. So one of my in process is actually learning to let go of these stories. some of us will see all these stories in front of us. We know all these stories. Some of us don't. Yeah.
Mhm.
And when you know this story, are you willing to let go of the story? If you do not want to let go of the story, it takes control of you. However, when you learn to let go in the, I call PQ, PQ, SQ, physical quotient, spiritual quotient. That means spiritually
Mm.
you let go, emotionally, of course, you let go, and physically you learn to let it go and anchor a new being in you. Then they this all these stories no longer control you because you let the new you overpower those old stories. And sometimes it's very simple. Yeah, for example, anchoring on your body, like a smile, lifting your head as you recall all these images and remove all these images and let go of these images. Lifting the head upwards is a very different process from, looking down, right? When you're
Mm.
fierce and you're not in power of yourself, usually you will look down. So when you sense this discomfort of you, like your fear is coming in and taking over, just do a simple process. Lift your head. Lift your head, look forward and smile. And that anchors a different emotion inside you. This is what I call PQ. And that allows the fear to be on the side. Of course, we don't remove this in this way, we don't remove the actual cause yet. However, we can actually take control of the symptom at that moment so that you actually shift it out of the way first.
I
Then you
love
deal with it later.
I love that because as you're sharing, when we're feeling less than or whatever, and we do tend to look down. I mean, I can think of many times in my life where I have, I've been sad or there's an experience that I've not enjoyed and I will look down. And at the same time, I can recognize that when I'm curious, then I look up and or I'm trying to, kind of connect the dots and stuff like that. I will look up. And so what I'm hearing from you is that we can support ourselves simply by moving our body in those directions. We can open up those potentials for ourselves intellectually, spiritually, and everything like that, because we know they're all connected.
Yeah, this is energy. So we are just using our body to connect the positive energy to support us. So by looking down, you are actually allowing your body to curl up so your energy flows doesn't move in your body. However, when you open up and you look upwards, your shoulders are open, wide open, your heart is able to embrace what's in front of you. So when you open up and you look up, you are building your own personal courage.
Mm.
Because with this opening, you're able to breathe better. You're allowing energy to flow inside you. You're allowing oxygen to go up to your head. And that will, support a lot. Yeah, this gentleman said something interesting. Been working on this stuff a lot these last few years, but probably just enough to know how much work is still needed. So yeah, you said it right. You know some of these things. You know how to take care of our body. You look after the symptoms, but we want to dive deeper. So I like to
Mhm.
dive in, which is why I like Fear to Power a lot. I actually dive in with each and every person back to their childhood. And there was this person who went all the way back to the fetal state.
Mm. Mhm.
It's
Mhm.
very interesting. It is very interesting process even for me to hear from her that she went to fetal state and she could hear her mom. So it goes to show that whatever the mother is doing is affecting the child. So she developed a certain characteristic because of that space, the kind of environment she was in, she was receiving there. And she went there and we clear that memory that didn't serve her. So some of us will have different characteristics, right? It's like stubborn, you're very stubborn or always angry and you don't know why this anger, somehow stays inside you. Where did it come from? Or where did this stubbornness come from? Or even for some people, it is like being too thrifty, too prudent
Okay.
to the extent that it is very extreme. Uh, and there are also people who are very generous out of range. Why? that personal characteristic inside you, it is always caused by environmental nurturing. Yeah, your nurture from
Mhm.
parents, nurture from environment, and of course, naturally in nature itself, like in the fetal state, what she's receiving there. So it caused her to be a certain personality character. So once we also go deep in, we can remove these things that don't serve us at all.
I like this comment here.
Yeah.
Same with singing. Hunching restricts the energy needed, whereas opening up the shoulders and looking up allows breath and energy for your voice to flow. So great connection. I really like that. I
Yeah.
really like that. And it kind of, because the visual that I was getting is my plug-in is up there.
Yeah.
So look up and plug in kind of thing. And that, like you say, it opens up that energy. And I can feel the difference, looking down and closing in, turtling, or and it is a protective mechanism. Like, I get that it's a protective mechanism. It's kind of like those little armadillos that curl up and leave their little shell on the outside in order to protect the soft underbelly. We think we're protecting our soft underbelly, but we're not. We're actually cutting off our energy source.
Yeah. And like, what this comment was about the music component. So some people, they use music to raise their vibration. So when you are feeling down, there is a tendency for you to listen to your favorite music in order to
Mhm.
raise the vibration. So that's a way to actually help you using external resources to help you raise energy. So besides the physical quotient, you can also use music as a support. However, for all these inner fears, I would recommend that one dive deep inside and know what's
Mhm.
truly blocking you. You can use the music to support you, but how much? Unless you are really able to embrace 100% of the music and be part of it, then you can use music to heal, which is also there are people using music to heal others, singing bowl. Yeah, there are some people doing therapy
Mhm.
work with singing bowl. This is a similar kind of healing process, just that they're healing the different sensory. So we're talking about different sensory here, whether it's
Yeah.
see, hear, or feel. And for me, I like to go into the feeling, back into the memory state, the visual, because when we go into the feeling, we also visualize. I use a few components within the healing process, which is see, hear, and feel. Yeah. And when we embrace all these in power and let it take, and control of you to let you go deep in to find what is the deep cause of your problem, then we
Mhm.
remove it and yeah, life change.
Life changes. So we have one more comment here. Sorry, Facebook user, we don't have your name, but I wanted to just put this one in front of Stella. I know that the fear of rejection, is the fear of rejection that keeps me paralyzed. I have to keep telling myself that I am smart. I have a master's degree in nursing, and that was not easy, but I did it. I see people around me that are very successful, and I hate that the only difference between us is their self-confidence. I'm tired of feeling stuck. I want to be free. I love that you're claiming that. I understand what you are saying. I just don't know how to get there.
Yeah.
So I'd love to hear your thoughts on that.
Yeah, it is. This is what I mean by you can be in control of your success somehow, but there is still something missing. So in her case or his case, it is this emptiness of not being able to take control of the self confidence. You see other
Mhm.
people confident, but yet you're not there. You have this self doubt on you. You're always beating yourself up. So this is the part that we really need to go back into your history, into your stories, and we discover what is that is blocking you. For everyone is different.
Mhm.
Sometimes it could be a rejection from your parent in the past. On as a child, you're not being loved as much. There was a conditional love. Why did I say conditional love? For example, if you do well in exams, then your parents say, "Well done, good job." However, even if you get 96, the parent will say, "I think you can do better." So can you imagine if this child keep hearing you can do better, is not good enough. You're always not good enough.
Yes.
So it is not about self-confidence already. It is about you are not good enough. Deeper than that. Yeah, it is on the surface, you can always project yourself to be confident. Perhaps the person they are looking at, you think they have self-confidence, but yet behind, inside their heart, they're saying, hey, I don't think I'm confident. Yeah, I'm not good enough. There could be a better Stellar Ho. This is not good enough. Yeah, so you are setting your standards too high for yourself, always beating yourself up. So this is the missing gap that we want to go in and see for yourself. I mean, I'm happy to actually help, anyone on this entrepreneur group do a breakthrough sessions that Terry taught earlier on in one of the sessions. Yeah.
Yes.
For mine, the breakthrough sessions is to help you discover what gets you blocked. What is this inner imprint that didn't serve you? And we want to remove that out of your life.
Uh-oh, your voice disappeared there.
My voice disappeared.
We got you back?
Yeah? Can you hear me?
Okay. I'm not sure if anyone can hear. I don't know if anyone can hear me. So could somebody put a comment in about that? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to put up a couple of comments here while we're waiting.
Okay.
I like this comment. That's really swell. Thanks, Schroeder.
Yeah, Schroeder. Yeah.
Oh,
welcome.
there we go. They can hear her. You know what?
My time.
There it is. It was me. It was me. It wasn't you.
No problem
Okay.
about that.
So
Yeah,
we're probably going to have some weird echoing background here, but and we've actually gone way over our time, and I want to honor and thank you so much for what you've shared here today. And there's one more comment I really want to share. Love that. I agree with you 100%, Denise. Okay.
Yeah.
And
at the end
one
of the
more
day,
here.
I want to add something to this spiritual ascension. We're not here in this life to just leave a Velma, spirit behind, and Stellar Ho, spirit behind. We want to be here and leave this place at the end of our life and be a better soul in a better space. So, which is why purpose is very important. Spiritual ascension is important to move forward. So it's not about helping people gain their resources is one way. It is our way of paying forward. Like for you, you're also serving many to go forward in their life. So we want to be in a better space in terms of our soul, a higher enlightened being, compared to when we start this journey here. So that's why I really feel that if we are really interested in helping others, really work on spiritual ascension yourself, and then and empower you so that you can know that's your ultimate goal. Yeah, because we can't take away the money that we earn this life. Neither can we take away the fame and everything else. Yeah. Denise, thanks for that comment.
Awesome. So Stella, I really want to thank you so much for sharing your wisdom, sharing your process, because you've actually gifted us with a lot of good information on your process. When we are complete here, I'd really love it if you would share the links to your various programs so that our listeners have an opportunity to be able to tap into what you offer. And again, thank you so much. I really have appreciated this time with you.
Yeah, you're welcome. And I can offer any breakthrough sessions for someone who's really stuck in their life. Just reach out.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Stella. And thank you to everybody who showed up. I appreciate you. And I look forward to seeing you again soon. Have a fantastic day.